Hey guys, welcome back to Bixby's Beer Reviews. Great to see you again. We're going to be getting into a real holiday beer today. We got from the folks at Port City Brewing Company in Alexandria, Virginia, Colossal 10. It's an American style barley wine. Of course, it's Colossal 10 because it's their 10th anniversary beer. They actually brewed it at the very beginning of 2021. Had a 6 of this sitting in my basement, letting it cool out just a little bit because this one tips the scales at 11.2%. It's a heavy hitter. Of course, as I said, American barley wine. Barley wine, really more of an English style historically. Now, I do love an English barley wine. I actually do like that they're a little bit more restrained, less boozy, a little bit more malt forward. But this is an American beer review show, and I'll be damned if our ancestors fought a Revolutionary War so those limey bastards could get top billing on my beer review show. So we're not doing that. Instead, we're going to crack this one open, take a look at it, and see how good it is. Barley wine, to me, really the epitome of style. It's perfect for really cutting loose with. I say it's a holiday beer. You know, it's a great beer to have to celebrate having friends and family under your roof. Also a great beer if you need a little something to take the edge off, having friends and family all under your roof. It can do both. The point is, it will get the job done. But let's take a look at this beautiful beer. One of the great things about barley wine is it accommodates a wide range of different colors and malt expressions as a style. So you can see this one, a very dark amber, a little bit golden color, a little bit darker than some of the paler barley wines you'll see from England. Not quite as dark as a lot of American barley wines come in. Kind of, again, a medium amber, orange, goldish color. Very beautiful. Very light head. It's not a heavily carbonated style. This is a real sipper. This is one you want to even let up warm up a little bit. I've had this bottle out of the fridge for about 5 minutes, just letting it get a little bit above room temperature, get to about 50 degrees or so. So it's a beautiful looking beer. It looks weighty. So let's give it a smell and see what's in there. A rich, vinous character on this one, as befits its time in the bottle since it was brewed. I get a lot of port wine, a little bit of toffee, and certainly some sort of dark cherries, almost like a maraschino cherry, like a sweetness to it, and then rich leather-bound books, tobacco, things of that nature. It's a very old-smelling beer, but overall a wonderfully rich complement of aromas that sort of span from dark, almost dried stone fruits to almost a more of a red wine character or a port wine character. It's a beautiful and distinctive note that comes with some good dark malts that have had some time to mature. So that's what it smells like. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. So this beer has what I think really makes American barley wines distinct from their English cousins, which is that this has a very pronounced hop bitterness that can actually stand up to the formidable booze and maltiness that we get up front and that I got from the AROMA. It still has that really dark, rich, caramelized, fruity malt flavor. But instead of overwhelming the palate and giving a feeling of heaviness, there's a very, very intense bitterness. I've talked about beer horseshoe theory before with respect to sour beers and IPAs. But really, when you get down to it, the true horseshoe theory is just between IPAs and barley wines. You think of barley wine as being one of the most intensely malty beers outside of a stout. But really, in an American example, they're going to push the IBUs almost as high, and you sort of eventually get to a place what I call the Dogfish Head 120-minute zone, where there's really no distinction between the two. Now, this one doesn't quite get to that place in terms of the intensity of either the booze or the hoppiness. But again, it's the most distinctive thing about this is its balance in spite of how big it is. That intense hop bitterness and not a little bit of a slightly fruity hop flavor really gives balance to that toffee and caramel and fruit malt that this beer brings. It's a really excellent example of the style. This is still going to be a sipper. I'm going to have to take my time with this one, but a nice thing about this beer is it'll open up too, even in the glass, as it warms up a little bit more. Certainly a beer that you might want to hold in a goblet or snifter as you sit by a fire and contemplate things that you see in the flames, or read a rich leather-bound book that this beer smells like. But this one from Port City, really wonderful. Glad I could showcase them finally. They're a brewery that I've loved for, 10 years. I actually remember trying their first Colossal when it came out at my local watering hole some 10 years ago and change. And I'm excited to feature this one later this week. I got another special little surprise for you. I'll give you a hint. It's got Colossal in the name, but I won't tell you which number it is. But we're going to check that out later this week, and I hope you join me for that. But in the meantime, really glad to have you here to check out this fine barley wine on this cold evening here in the Piedmont. And I hope I'll see you again next time. And until then, bye now.